the packet for today. Anybody missing today's packet? Today's packet. All right, so in today's packet, we are reviewing for your test that is going to be Friday. Let's talk about that first and all that kind of good stuff, and then we'll get going. So those of you at home do not have to come tomorrow. Those of you in here, we do have a lab. For today, it was, yeah. I did not give it to you yesterday. Yes. Yep. Yep. Perfect. The test is Friday. Tomorrow we have a lab, so those of it in class are going to do the lab. Those of you at home, consider another day to do your review. The test is open from 7:30 to 1:30. Those of you in class will take it in class. Those of you at home will take it at home. Another thing you probably want to know is that you will use your periodic table on this test. Normally, I give you a test copy. I can't go to everybody's houses and give them a test copy, and I can't give it to you and take it back. So what we're going to do this year is we're going to let you use your own, okay? So you want to make sure, it might be an advantage. I told you I think you should color it. I told you I think you should write a few things on it. That is your advantage, okay? It is currently 20 questions and 58 points, okay? So it's multiple choice. In Schoology like it's been all year. Anything on the review sheet is fair game, like valence electrons. Who was the creator of the periodic table? So even if you didn't necessarily see it on a mini quiz in the last 2 weeks, if it's on the review sheet, it is on the test, okay? And then one other thing I want to do today, remember how we were reading the electron configuration off of the periodic table? What we wanted to do was we wanted to find a way that you guys would kind of write that, but make it as still in Schoology. So what you're going to do today, along with the review sheet, is in week 20, in the Wednesday class, I have a practice electron configuration kind of quiz. It's not worth any points. It's just so you can see how we formatted the question before the test on Friday. So if you go into that, okay, no points or anything, but it just says, I would like for you to write the full electron configuration for fluorine. Okay, so my suggestion is with a pencil. And remember, you should have had this stuff written down. This is the S block over here, the D block down here, the P block over here. If you were doing fluorine, you would say it's energy level 1. S has 2, then energy level 2. Oops. S has 2, and then you would be over here, energy level 2. P has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So the answer for the full electron configuration for that is 1s2, 2s2, 2p5. So all you would have to do, if you could write that down, is then go in here and you would say 1s2, 2s2, oopsies, and then 2p5. P, and 5. Okay, so you're pretty much just writing it out. So I would like for you to do a couple practices so you can play around with the formatting of that, because I don't want that to be the challenge on Friday. I want whether or not you can do the electron configuration to be the challenge. Okay, awesome. So with that said, I want to give you one more thing. In your packet is if for some reason you don't remember, you missed something in the notes, there is a concept map that has everything that we talked about in this unit. It talks about how there's groups and periods, metals, nonmetals, and metalloids. It talks about the history of the periodic table very quickly. You're probably going to see some of that on the quiz. The different names of the groups here, the 4 different trends, and the information about the valence electrons. So if you have a hard time finding things in your notes, always use this concept map to kind of help you out. But other than that, all I want to do today is I want to quit yapping, and I want to get you guys some time to work on periodic table test review. It is 4 pages. I try to give you a lot of practice and a lot of space to work here. The key is in the Wednesday folder if you would like to check yourself. Copying the key never helps anybody because you won't have a key tomorrow. But like I said, you want to make sure your periodic table is ready to go. Hopefully it's colored. Hopefully it's labeled, things like that. Okay, so that's all I had. I just wanted to make sure that you knew what was coming your way Friday after our lab tomorrow. Everybody has the packet. Do we have any questions before we get started here? Questions on the review before we get started? All right, so I'm going to check in with you guys at home in a second. Check in with you guys here. Hopefully you guys are feeling swell, and we will get ready for our test on Friday. Beautiful. You might want to color the periodic table because it's going to ask you questions about metals, nonmetals, and metalloids. So I can leave this up for a while. The biggest things I would kind of just color, and maybe you just bold them differently, or you can do different things. The yellow here, yeah. I would make sure you get the yellow and the blue. You can leave the green, like white, just metals. And then I would just somewhere make sure you write a little key to yourself, maybe at the bottom here. Make a little key that says, the yellow ones happen to be non-metals. And then the blue ones happen to be, that's not even the same color blue. What are we talking about here? But you know what I'm saying. Metalloids. And then the other ones would be metals. Okay?
Okay.
So I'll leave this up here. Metals. I could love to go over the configuration thingy. Let's do it. Probably everybody could use a little bit of that. All right, let's do this all together. If you do have I had a request to go over the electron configuration. Remember, when you first read it, for instance, like if I wanted to read the electron configuration for iron, okay, you need to make sure you have the numbers going down the side. Does everybody have the numbers going down both sides? Perfect. This is the S block. So I personally would write that on the periodic table that is the S block. Okay. Then down here between SC and ZN in the transition metals, this is the D block. Okay. The D block. And then over here is the P block. Do not be confused that this is also 1S. Okay. Awesome. So when you're reading it, remember that S is full with 2, D is full with 10, and P is full with 6 because there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 items there. There's only a couple things that are kind of weird. You would fill 1S2, 2S2, 2P6, 3S2, 3P6. Then you fill 4S2. Then you fill this D. This SC starts 3D. And the 5 starts 4D. Okay, so I write a little note to myself right there. But then it does pop back up. Remember, this is 2P, 3P, 4P, and 5P. You will never go any further than barium, so that's all you have to know. Okay. So if I was to read the electron configuration for iron, it would go 1S, and you have how many blocks in this energy level? You have 2. Then I'm in energy level 2. Shape S has 2. Then you come over here, you're in 2P has 6. Remember, I'm trying to get down here to iron, so I'm just reading like a book. 2P has 6. Oh, I'm sorry. That's 3P. I already crossed off 2P. Okay, so I'm at 2P6. Then I'm at 3S2. And I'm still reading here. 3P6. And then you go 4S2. 4. And then right here, though, it drops to 3D. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So 3D6 would be my final answer. Okay. So if you put those blocks on kind of on there and put those numbers on there, it should really, really help you when you're doing that. And then my suggestion is to go ahead and make sure you take that quiz. One of them is going to be kind of long like that. So you know how to pull. This one's going to try to do aluminum. 1S2, 2S2, 2P6. You can pull those things in there. Okay. So hopefully you have your periodic table colored. And hopefully you can read that electron configuration off of the periodic table. Don't need bubble sheets anymore. Okay. Oh. Did that help? You probably want your blank periodic table out. That could probably be really helpful to do the review, but you want to get that review sheet done before your test on Friday, correct?